Well, the two countries have, to put it mildly, not really seen eye to eye, but our next guest believes the refinery is tangible proof that they're getting serious about cross-border trade. Jagannadham Thunuguntla is Chief Strategist and Head of Research at SMC Global Securities in New Delhi. Thanks a lot for joining us. First of all, let's get your view as to where this does take us, if anywhere, because nothing's really changed just yet. There's a lot of talk, we've been here before, about the easing of restrictions, the easing of trade ties. But it is just perhaps light at the end of the tunnel, and is that what this refinery represents?
Yeah, both the countries have fought enough, and both the countries have understood that there is a relevance of concentrating on productive and tangible reasons than just for the sake of fighting. And so this is one of those building blocks towards the destination of building much more credible diplomatic efforts between the India and Pakistan. And it's a nice public-private partnership between the government-owned Hindustan Petroleum in India plus by Mittal Energy, so that it can be moved towards that. But India is right in the border of India and Pakistan. I think it has lots of strategic relevance. $6 billion is the trade that both the countries are targeting by 2016. Even the amount may look very small, but I'm sure it will go a long way in building up the relationships.
Okay, well, you know, at the moment I think we've only got about, $2 billion or something like that in terms of trade between the two sides, but just $2.7 billion, in fact, in up till March 2011. What happens next here? I mean, because, okay, India's got its own energy requirements. Building a factory or refinery about, 100 kilometers from the Pakistani border, doesn't really do anything because, at the end of the day, the demand is there anyway in the domestic market.
Absolutely, and not only that, India actually imports a lot of it. So in that sense, India is in dire need of that. But the point is that while business is definitely an integral part of this venture, more than that, I think it's more of India-Pakistan building up the relationships. In that sense, whatever the trade that gets built up with the Pakistan and whatever the military spend that India is doing, that can be saved up to some extent. To that extent, it's not only the business; it has a lot more political angle and the structural diplomatic angle to this.
Absolutely. So, you know, when we look at the political machinations which go on here, is there, do you think, now a strong willingness on both sides to get these trade talks fully underway and allow both countries to invest in each other and actually build it up to that $6 billion figure that they have in mind? Because, of course, one more terrorist attacks and this all goes out the window again, doesn't it?
Absolutely, you are bang on. Because there have been several rounds of discussion between both the countries over the period of last 1 or 2 decades. But tangible efforts are finally falling in place. To that extent, both the parties have understood that there is a relevance. The time is up to a point where the energies have to be spent on the productive reasons. And both the countries are working towards that direction. It is very encouraging sign because this is the first tangible trade asset that is being built up exclusively to build up the India-Pakistan relationships. It is appearing that $6 billion target is achievable.
Jagannadham, what about the stress points? What are the stress points, the points which these trade talks could actually fall over in particular?
There are quite a few. I mean, right from terrorism and right from the aspects of, let's say, cross-border infrastructure, and there can be lots of political agenda. And I think in over a period of next 1 or 2 years, it will be seen whether this venture is just for the sake of it, is it just one more venture on the paper, or whether it has more relevance, and both the parties are committed or not, we'll get to know. But the fact of the matter is, by 2014, again, India will have general elections, meaning thereby there is a chance that probably we may see altogether a new government. So whether this initiative that is being taken by this particular government, whether that will be taken forward by the new government or not, is also a big question.
Thank you so much for joining us there, Thunuguntla.